everyone, welcome to day 8 of the 30 Days to Spring Tidying Challenge, a little challenge that I created that is based off of Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. We have gone through 2 big categories now, clothing and books. Today we're going to be tackling the 3rd category. Again, I've only allotted 1 day for this category, so you may want to take a little more time because today we are tackling papers. I used to be one to keep everything. I would keep bank statements, credit card statements, pay stubs, warranties, all sorts of papers, and I wouldn't even keep them because I thought I would need them one day. I kept them because I liked paper and I liked the act of filing. Eventually, of course, the papers got way out of hand, so 4 years ago when I went through the KonMari method, I went ahead and I basically got rid of the majority of all those things that I kept just for filing purposes. A lot of the papers that I have remaining in my collection, I believe, are sentimental. I store sentimental papers as well as regular papers kind of together. They're all a mishmash now, and I have so many different places where I keep papers. Not so much in the condo itself anymore, but in the locker, it's just filled with boxes and boxes and boxes of papers. I am going to put everything into different categories. Primarily, I'm going to split out the sentimental papers and save that for day 30. As for everything else, based on the KonMari method, I am supposed to discard everything or go through the papers with the intention to discard everything. In The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, Marie Kondo writes this: I recommend you dispose of anything that does not fall into one of 3 categories: currently in use, needed for a limited period of time, or must be kept indefinitely. I'm going into this with the mindset that I'm going to discard everything. I know it's still going to be difficult, but if I set aside these sentimental items, I think I can get through it. I can't believe how many papers we have. I would basically have a box for papers in the condo. When it filled up, I would move it to the locker, and then I would start a new box. Box after box after box after box. And here we are today. In the case of papers, it really isn't what sparks joy, it's really what you'll need and what you'll use going forward. Everything else is supposed to go. Anything that you have any sort of attachment to, you should put aside for sentimental items. The papers category was a lot more difficult than I anticipated. Even though I did expect it to be a difficult day, it was a lot more challenging than I even initially thought. The volume of papers and the time it takes to go through each one is absolutely exhausting. In total, I was probably only tidying for about 2 hours, but towards the end I had to rush because I actually have someplace to be this afternoon. Mostly what I have remaining are sentimental items, although there are a few different things that I could probably go through in a little more detail. For example, our income tax histories, I could probably pare down that section a lot and file it in a more systematic way. Today was definitely the most challenging day for me thus far. Even though I only tidied for 2 hours, mentally it felt like 12 hours, and it just went by really slowly, and I found it very tedious and very difficult to hone in on what to keep. I probably should have let go of more than I did. While tidying up does sound like a lot of fun, especially when you watch the Netflix series, I mean, you do see a little bit of the trials and tribulations, but now going through it myself, I realize what incredibly hard work it is. KonMari method is no joke. I am physically and mentally exhausted. Physical exhaustion from just moving stuff around for the past 8 days, and mental exhaustion was probably due to today for the most part. I just found it very taxing to go through so many years of papers. I had stuff from grade school and also from high school, which was many, many moons ago. But I feel like I shed so much of my past self letting go of all of these old papers, although I still kept a few that I want to look through. But seeing how I used to write, both the penmanship and the style of writing, was very fascinating to me. And I tried not to spend too much time reading stuff today because that will probably happen a lot more on day 30 when I tackle sentimental items. But I couldn't help but flip through a few things, especially exercise books from high school where I was full of angst. I don't remember writing the stuff that I did. I had these interesting essays and poems that I would jot down in my journals, and they were full of angst. I feel like such a different person today, even compared to where I was 6 months ago, that grade school and high school just feel like they were light years away. Either tonight or when I tackle sentimental items, I want to flip through some of these things that I've held on to for so long. I just want to spend some time reflecting on them, and once I am done that, hopefully I will just let them go. But I just found it very fascinating to go through all these boxes of old papers. You wouldn't think that papers hold such a strong indication of who you once were. It feels great to have gotten the bulk of these old papers out of my collection. I feel so much lighter and so ready to move on. I'm not really looking forward to day 30 because I'm gonna have to tackle all of these old memories, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited for it. Even though today was very challenging, I feel like I progressed a lot just in my readiness mentally to take on the rest of this challenge and to almost enter a new phase. I feel like today is the turning point in the tidying challenge. Here's our little garbage area that has been overtaken with papers that I'm going to be recycling. As well, we had a lot of papers to shred that had confidential information on it. Hubby was so sweet and helped me shred all my papers. It must have taken forever because I had quite a big stack. I try to only shred pages that have my personal information on it, or I'll just rip off a section of the sheet with the personal information on it, so we're not shredding everything, but there was still a lot because I had kept so much. I'm going to sign off on day 8 of the 30-day tidying challenge. The kimono category is going to run from day 9 all the way to day 29. The first subset of categories that I've allotted for kimono include CDs, DVDs, video games, and software. Please let me know how you got on with papers today. I would love to hear a little bit about your process and how you felt when you were tidying. I will see you tomorrow on day 9 for the start of kimono, the huge miscellaneous category. Until then, please take care and bye for now.